And welcome back to Sports Weekly on IEMG. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We got a lot of baseball highlights in this segment, and we start out at the County Clash. It was the final County Clash of the season at San Manuel Stadium, home of the Inland Empire 66ers. And you might remember it was cold and rainy on Saturday night. They tried to get all the games in, but the final game of the final County Clash, it was, well, Aquinas against Ontario Christian. And we were trying to have the game live on IEMG. In fact, we did for about an hour, but the game was finally suspended as fans, they came prepared with umbrellas, but the Knights and the Falcons ended at 2-2 at the County Clash. Here's some of the highlights from IEMG.
First pitch, cracked right back up the middle. Whippo's going to come around third. And he's going to cross the plate for the first run of the game. So back-to-back base hits for the Knights, and they are on the board first. A quick one-zip lead here against Aquinas. Tyler Fernandez, the left field, it's going to fall in for a base hit. That brought in one run. And it's now 2-zip Knights as the hit parade continues with 2 outs here. That pitch, Olazaba drills it deep to left field. It's going to be over the outfielder's head. It's going to bounce to the warning track and the wall. That's going to bring home Egan, and the Falcons, just like that, are on the board. Ball 2 strikes to Chrisman. Chrisman fouls it to the right side. That one should be out of... Oh, it's going to stay in play into the corner. Chrisman to second. And that brings home a run for the Falcons, and it's tied at 2. Let's see how this is going to go down. It might go down as a tie. Aquinas 2, Ontario Christian 2 in the second inning, and this one is to be continued.
All right, earlier in the day at the County Clash, the weather a lot better for Yucaipa from the Citrus Belt League, playing a non-league game against Lacerna from Whittier. No score in the top of the 5th inning when Owen Long of Lacerna knocks in a pair of runs to give them the lead 2-zip. And for Lacerna, they had Eddie Garcia on the mound, and he was fantastic in this game against the Thunderbirds. Final out of the game, the grounder to short to end it. Eddie Garcia tosses a complete game. 5 strikeouts, gave up just 4 hits as Lacerna defeated Yucaipa 2-zip at the County Clash at San Manuel Stadium in non-league play. For the Thunderbirds, it's back to CBL action this week. And speaking of CBL action, Redlands East Valley taking on Beaumont in a big one. Rev is going to actually take on Cajon this week, which is important for the Cowboys. But check out some of these highlights. The Cougars built a 4-0 lead, but the Wildcats were on the comeback trail. Dylan Smalls singles up the middle to drive home a run and make it a 1-run game. Eric Rivera, the head-first slide home. Rev trailing 4-3. Could have been a bigger inning, but one of the base runners gets caught in a rundown, and he is out near second with Smalls standing on the bag. Then a nice play by the Beaumont shortstop in the throw to first to end the inning. So it is still a 4-3 game at this point. Anyone could win this one. It's so close. Beaumont now at the plate. And it will be a big inning for them. 6th inning, Tim Moreno singles to get on board. Alan Gibbons now on the bump for the Wildcats. Great pitch here. Catches the corner. That's a called strike 3 looking for Gibbons. But Rev, they weren't out of the woods yet. Beaumont loads up the bases, and Colby Martin delivers the big-time double to left field, and that will clear the bags. A 3-run double for Martin as the Cougars go up 7-3. Martin went 3 for 3 in the game, and he drove in 4 runs as Beaumont goes on to the win on the road at Rev. 9-6 the final score, so that was an important game in CBL play. Right now, when you look at the standings, Redlands East Valley is in second place, just 1 game back of first place Citrus Valley. And it's very, very close right now. Cajon has a big game at Rev this week, and the Cowboys are trying to fight their way up the league standings right now to finish up, in the top 3, which is an automatic spot to the playoffs with the CBL super competitive this season. All right, now we go to the San Andreas League. San Gorgonio at home taking on Notre Dame. San G in a very similar situation like Cajon, that time is running out and you got to get some wins right now to secure that playoff spot because there's only a handful of games left in regular season, in league play, before we get to the CIF Southern Section playoffs. Couple quick highlights from San G taking on Notre Dame from Riverside. Freshman Andy Contreras on the mound for San G, trying to bring it home. Strike there. San Gorgonio is up by 3 in this game, and here's how it ends. Contreras starts the old-fashioned 1-6-3 double play to end the game. The Spartans win 9-6. So right now, San G is tied for 3rd place in the league standings with Colton, just 1 game back of 2nd place Carter. So San Gorgonio, like Cajon, every single game matters the rest of the way as they try to finish in the top 3, or even better, top 2 in their league standings and try to get an automatic spot into the upcoming playoffs. All right, we come back here on Sports Weekly on IEMG. Are you ready for some football? Yes, spring football has started for our local teams. We'll check in with San Gorgonio coming off a Skyline League title a year ago. We'll be right back here on Sports Weekly on IEMG.